Welcome back to episode 6 of the Everything Paddle podcast. I'm your host, Ewan, and I'm joined, as always, by Jake.
Hello, guys. Welcome back.
How are you?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm quite tired this week. Been a busy week. But let's just get on straight to the first element of this podcast, which is this week we are doing a Racket giveaway. So right here in my hands, Jake, you can see I've got the Adidas CrossFit Lite. Do you see what that says there?
That's ridiculous.
Signed by Martita Ortega. So
Marta Ortega.
Marta Ortega.
I'll correct that.
It's Martita, no?
Well, this is a great feature we now have on the podcast, guys.
You can fact check me live. Oh wow, okay, fair one. It says
maybe
Martita right there. Maybe it's both. I don't know.
It does say Martita, doesn't it?
Oh well, someone in the comments can clarify that. I was having a meeting with this guy for Adidas, and at the end, he just gave me that, almost just like as a thank you.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why, but basically, me and Jake, we want to hit 1,000 subscribers on the podcast because then we can monetize the podcast. If you subscribe, that enters you in the giveaway, but also we want you to leave a question for the podcast in the comments below. So subscribe and leave a question below, and then you'll be entered in this giveaway, and then we'll choose a random winner, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, when the podcast has been out for a couple of days.
And then we'll reveal it in the next podcast.
And we'll reveal it in the next podcast. But that is a top racket signed by a pro female player as well. So it's definitely worth a subscribe and a question. Jake, you've had a busy week, right?
Yes, very busy week of training, competing, and coaching. Yeah, so this week I was in Bristol for a massive event, the biggest event in UK paddle so far, for the R3 Bullpadel Cup.
And you played with Theo again?
Theo Garton, yeah. We're creating a good kind of relationship now with our partnership and
stuff. I was
going
to ask you about that. You've played like quite a few tournaments with him now. So do you find that you're getting like a good connection on court, good chemistry?
Yeah, really good now.
You know who's going to take what ball, obviously, all of that stuff.
Yeah, this was the event. And yeah, we played two Spanish guys. So we got a wild card into main draw. Yeah. I can show you the draw actually as well. So here we are. I can't show you. Where are we? Here we are.
There you are.
So we got a wild card into the main draw, which was great, and like super grateful for that opportunity to be able to go straight into the main draw. And then we came up against two Spanish guys, which, fun enough, is an uncle and a nephew.
I see.
So that was the first time I played an uncle and nephew. Before.
Tough game.
Yeah, it was tough. It was like the scoreline doesn't reflect, I think, to what the match was actually like in person.
Think it could have been. So the score there is 6-1, 6-3 to you and Theo.
Yeah.
You think it was a lot closer than that?
I think we definitely should have won. Whether it could have been a lot closer is
could have been 6-3, 6-4 maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. But we did play. I thought we played quite well for our level. And yeah, we had Libby on the bench with us, coaching us, and that really helped. Libby Fletcher. She is the national team's performance pathway coach manager. And yeah, she was super helpful.
She was giving you advice for the match as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was in these events, like, it's quite common to have a coach. And
yeah, it's so cool. It's so nice as well. If you're struggling at all, you're going through a little bit of bad patch in the game, to have someone just
to tell you where you're going wrong, what you need to do to
give you a strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and the main thing that even I know it myself, I need to move my feet with intensity and stay solid, but keep relaxed with my hands still. And I know that myself, but just having someone on the sideline to go every game, just like intensity in the feet, nice relaxed hands, you know?
I was going to just say this in general. I think there's so many things that we know, but you just need a constant reminder for it. Like the amount of times that you have a few bad games or something and you think, actually, I wasn't intense there at all. Like, we both know that we have to be super intense, but when you've got that person on the side telling you constantly, that's really helpful.
Yeah, it was super helpful. And yeah, then we went on.
Was there any other sort of like insight that you can give on what she might have been telling you during the game, or was it just like, come on, every game intensity?
There was a lot of motivation, but
okay.
But tactically, it was we definitely picked on the younger Funny enough, he was top 10 in the Fit Promises under 18s, but now he's in the world. And now he's older, so he can't play Promises anymore.
Oh, I see.
So assuming that he's trying to get some points into some of these events.
And were you picking on him because he was weaker or because you thought he was less experienced?
Yeah, less experienced for sure. The uncle was very solid. I warmed up because he played on the backhand. I warmed up with him. I played on the forehand. And I said, Theo, he doesn't really miss. Doesn't really do anything with the ball, but he doesn't really miss. And Theo was like, well, the kid's got kind of talent, but like you can see there's errors. So, we was like, okay, the first few games, Levy was telling us, right, let's see what this kid is like in the match and see if he can get settled. And early we took a break straight away, I believe, because of that tactic. You know, just picking on him, and he gave us that first few errors through nerves.
And you and Theo, you like to shout a lot on court and get really pumped up. Was that there in the game as well?
100%.
You just enjoying just both doing that.
Yeah, it was a really big thing from the get go, and learning a lot about kind of these international tournaments is they don't give you any time. The good players don't give you any time basically to warm up. In the points, they don't give you any time. They try and take any bit of kind of space or whatever in front of you. They take it away from you somehow. They play certain shots that just don't allow you to
attack.
Breathe almost. Yeah, and it was like something like that I've just been trying to do myself, like play aggressively, just take time away from people.
Are you saying maybe in between, when it's your serve, for example, are you like quickly picking up the ball and going next point?
Yeah, stuff like that. One thing, and I'm going to move on to the next match we played, where we played 2 top 100 players. And funny enough, Enzo Jensen, his sister, Claudia Jensen, is, I believe, top 15 in the world.
Yeah.
So obviously got that
very, very high level players.
Yeah, talent and stuff like that. And obviously you can see the score. We lost 6-1, 6-2, but one experience to play against them.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed is I warmed up with this Lancia, who's actually played end of last year, played Tapia and Carrera in the quarterfinals of Premier Padel.
How cool is this, by the way, for you? To play, like, you're getting to the point where you're meeting players and now you've got connections with the pro players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
this is proper high level stuff.
Yeah. What I kind of thought going to this, they're not going to know who we are. They're probably going to think they're going to win this Love and Love. Can we try and use that against them and try and make them relaxed and give us kind of opportunities? That was completely the wrong kind of, not mindset, but they proved me so wrong. Like, they came on court. Lancia, his nickname is, his name, everyone calls him Andres, but Lancia, we stepped on court to warm up, played one ball, he hit one ground stroke, came straight into the net, like maybe, I don't know, 15 volleys, straight few up, and I'm like, I haven't even got used.
So he's not doing a long warm up.
Yeah, not entertaining that at all. And few up, smacked a few beebs, and then was like, okay, smashes. He was done in his warm up like 2 minutes.
Interesting.
Whereas I'm like, okay, I'll play a few down, get like used to the speed.
You want to warm up how defending against his vibras, right?
Exactly. And that was like one thing that really shocked me. Was like, in the warm up, you can gauge everything about a player. Yeah. Like, you can see everything, and also I can get used to the speed they play at.
That's quite interesting, because I guess on the other side of it, couldn't you argue that if you're better than them, sometimes in the warm up you can play so many amazing volleys that you're almost beating them in the warm up, right? And they can't get anything back from you. Hit 5 vibras that they can't return. So psychologically, you feel like you've beaten
I agree.
them already. So there's that side of it as well.
That's exactly what he did, though, but just
really
short.
Yeah. So he didn't give you like 10 where you could get the last 2 maybe.
Yeah, it's
right.
Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, if someone said to me, if he said you're gonna volley, I'm gonna volley 10 balls at you, I'd back myself by kind of like the 6th or 7th.
No matter who it is that you can get it.
I'm gonna start trying to work out ways to defend it.
Yeah.
He didn't let me get to that point. Right.
I see. So he's hit a couple volleys past you and then he's done, and then you're left going, so far I've just lost 2 volleys to him.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
That's
so cool.
It was just, it was like, okay.
Do you really think that was deliberate from him? Like,
they both did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, literally both of them, like Enzo on the other side hit one ground shot, both charged the net almost like it was a game.
Yeah.
And then volley.
Oh, good.
As soon as Lancia set up, Enzo went up. They hit a few down the line and then didn't even tell us they were going cross, just started spanking balls cross court. And we were like, oh, cheers, lads, for telling us you're going cross court here.
Yeah. It's really interesting at a higher level because it is so true in the tournaments. The warm-up, you are the whole time trying to work out your opponent. And so it makes sense that there's a lot. They're doing certain strategies in that warm-up to try and get in your head or not give you anything.
Yeah, and it was really interesting.
Because if we played a tournament together, the first thing we do in the warm-up is afterwards say, right, this guy's not as good. This is what he does. So they're aware of that. They're aware that you and Theo are going to do that.
And this match is a great example because I said to you straight away, I said to Theo, my guy don't miss. You know, we had a long way. He didn't really miss much. Didn't really do anything. Theo said, well, he's got a few nice shots, but he misses quite a bit. We've learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learned that tactic to go to the kid straight away. And yeah, I said, like the older fella didn't really move much. So I said that as well. But yeah, they didn't give us any indication of how to play against him. And we worked that out probably about 8 games in. At that point, we were 6-1, 2-0 down. You know, we worked out that, okay, we can't lob these guys because they're smacking everything for free and for fun. So you've got to play down. But then this is the problem. You play down, their volleys are amazing.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, we need to get the net. But then you get the net somehow by like maybe a chiquito or just a fast lob where they don't get the opportunity to smash. You get it, then they'll smack one ball at your body. Then you give them an easy ball. They hit a perfect lob.
Yeah,
and they're suddenly back in the net. Yeah, and it's like.
But then again, that's the basics of paddle just being executed perfectly at a really high level.
And the one thing that's like I'm gonna do so much now is play down. I'm not playing lobs. Like unless
so what you mean by that is when you're at the back of the court, just
playing
to the body,
down,
to the backhand.
Down, exactly. Yeah. Chiquitas. Just like, because if you try and lob at this level with these fast balls, the court's really quick.
Yeah. So you need to be really good at playing down.
Yeah. And that's
you can't rely on just being a lobber.
Exactly. But it was overall a great event.
I wanted to just this question. I actually got a DM from someone asking a question, and it ties in nicely to this. Because I was going to ask you about the event itself. And the question is, would love to know, what are your top problems with tournaments as players? And what would you do to make tournaments better for players? Bonus question, what's the best tournament you played in and why? So we could talk a little bit how I presume this tournament was run very well.
Ridiculous.
What was it about this tournament that you think was really, really good?
Well, they just have like one thing that's like really good is they have so many kind of pop-up like stalls that they had a physio, you know, that you could book in on a time schedule whenever you want, basically. They have stalls where it's like really helpful information about psychology or something like this, or kind of stalls for promoting Bullpadel, food stalls that are, you know, like, it's just everything's, whereas you go to an LTA event, and don't get me wrong, some LTA events are great.
Yeah.
But most of them are kind of like, you're sitting around doing nothing, and it's like, oh, you've got nothing to do. Whereas,
so in between the games, there was a lot more stuff to do. You could go to all these different stalls.
Yeah.
That's
and it's like for the neutral, like, watching, for me, obviously, I played on Friday. I went back to the hotel. I rested. I recovered. I did all the things you need to prepare for the next day. But for a viewer or a fan, they had unbelievable paddle to watch. They were never bored.
Yeah.
Like, there was so many activities. Like, there was a cool activity that I'd done where it was like, you basically have to jump as high as you can, and you can see how many centimeters off the ground you jump.
I also saw, that's a cool thing, but I also saw the reaction thing.
Yes,
so you have like all those buttons and they light up red, and then
exactly,
you have to tap them.
Yeah. So much media.
So to sort of answer this guy's question when he says, what would you do to make tournaments better for players? A good thing would be cool things like that to do in between the games.
I would recommend it, yeah.
The Epsom Grade 2 I went to a few weeks ago wasn't bad for that at all. There was a DJ there. There was a lot of stuff going on, and obviously the paddle level was very good. So you didn't mind just sitting and watching.
That's John Lee should be very happy with me saying this, but that's a home paddle event, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
They're really good.
They are really good, and you get obviously the goodie bag when you first get there as well.
Yeah, they're great.
Just a great vibe,
and they also give prize money, so then
Yeah.
that's why you get higher level.
So what's the best tournament you played, and why is it this one?
Best tournament played, would definitely be this one. One, because it's my highest level opponents.
Yeah.
First of all, highest level I've ever won at.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this is my first FIP Silver event, and I won a main draw match, which is unbelievable for me and Theo to do. So I do want to say, like, Theo was unbelievable the weekend, and he played really good. So hopefully we can play some more together
for sure. He does actually say in the bracket, sorry to take away, he says beyond winning and losing, what is the best tournament you played?
Right,
so
okay,
would this still be up there because of the stuff you've got?
Like I can't show it because I can't get logged onto the account, but the level of commentary, the level of professionalism with how many presenters there were, media people, like interviews. It was like, and I'm only because I'm British, I got an opportunity to kind of be in that social media side, but like it was, you'd basically, any top player was just getting interviewed any point of the day. Yeah, so exactly. Cool. It was, but yeah, what about you? What do you think your best event has been so far? I think you would say this one as well if you were there.
Yeah,
without bias.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess it's not going to be on the level. I honestly think the Epsom Grade 2 I went to a few weeks ago, I just thought that was just so well run. Maybe
have you been to a home paddle event before?
Yes. Yeah. I've been to a few.
Oh, we won one.
Yeah, we won. We did one of the first ones.
We should get them.
I need to get one of those up. So it might be a bit of recency bias, but probably that one. I think to answer his other question, which is what are the top problems with tournaments you have as players?
It's wait time, isn't it?
I guess it would be wait time. I understand at this event that's not an issue, but I think at normal events, waiting times for normal beginner and intermediate players is just so bad because they stuff so many players in.
But this is the problem because it's like people complain there was a tournament that they only let 16 pairs in, and everyone was like, there was 100 entries or something like that, and everyone was complaining that they didn't get in. Right, but it's like people complain when they let them in and then they have to wait around.
Well, I think there's a happy balance between them, but there was definitely one at Ilford a few
where they didn't do a back draw.
Where there wasn't even a back draw. So you had just...
Before you carry on, no slagging off Ilford. That wasn't anything to do with Ilford.
Nothing to do with Ilford.
There you go.
It was the people running that one, but it was a really expensive tournament as well because the prices are going up on these tournaments. I don't know the exact price. I presume it's at least 30.
It's normally 35, 40.
35 or 40 pounds.
Started off at 20, mate.
Yeah, it used to be 20 pounds to play, or like even 15, some of them.
Yeah.
But you had, for example, people that were traveling like 2-3 hours, maybe even more for this tournament. One match. Was it fast 4?
No, it wasn't fast.
I don't want to say that. No,
it wasn't fast 4. It was just a normal. It was a grade 2, wasn't it?
It was a grade 2. So this is, we're not talking like a lower level. Grade 2, big event. They play one match, they lose, and they have to go home. There's no back draw.
No,
so bad.
No, it's even worse. You don't know the full story.
God.
Yeah. You wait for this, buddy. Yeah, but they got told the back draw will be at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then at 6 p.m. they told everyone, we don't have time to do the back draw.
Oh my God.
And then said, so people come from...
Do you know what time they got there?
Well, people started at 9.
Yeah.
People started at 9, 10, 12, right? That was the time to start. And it was, I had people that drove from Exeter that I coach, like a lad from uni that came from Exeter for the tournament.
How far is that?
Miles away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2-3 hours, right?
At least, I think. Yeah. It's literally on the other side of the country.
And look, I almost think it's worse that it's not. It's a high level tournament, but it's supposed to be for players in the UK that want to enjoy and have a lot of fun. I think that's so bad
like,
that
for example, this event here doesn't have a back draw.
Yeah, that's fair though because it's so high level.
Yeah.
It's not about making sure everyone has a good time.
Yeah.
It's like you play.
You're competing against the best. You want to be the best.
Exactly.
Like, this is how it is.
That makes sense. But for a grade 2, I think that's so bad. So hopefully I helped answer your question there, Andrew. Of course, comment any questions down below or DM it to us. So Jake, let's discuss a topic that we actually disagree on, the Bandeja in Padel.
Yeah. This is
So should we put both of our sort of arguments out there? I still think the Bandeja in paddle is something that is important, that should be taught, and I think it's still beneficial all the way up the levels to play.
so. Let me start off saying the Bandeja
Mm-hmm.
is great for keeping the net position.
Okay.
However, the vibora is great for keeping the net position.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I'm going to say only hit vibras from now on is because a few things. I have written this down, so I will read off my plays. Like, first of all, the modern game has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's faster, more aggressive, and it increasingly favors
The vibra.
the shots that apply constant pressure,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's the vibra. Where players
So what's your stance here? Are you saying you don't want to teach the Bandeja?
I don't teach the Bandeja.
Don't teach the Bandeja
No,
at
to
all.
be fair, that's a lie. I do teach the Bandeja to players that who are going to learn the vibra down the line,
Mm-hmm.
but right now more beneficial to learn the Bandeja.
Once they've learned that vibra, you don't mention the Bandeja again.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a really good point. Yeah. So this is why I do agree with your argument. It's
Mm-hmm.
like for a certain level, the Bandeja is really useful.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit that kind of higher levels, it's like, when are you ever seeing Tapia, Coelho, Galan ever hitting a Bandeja, for example? Like the only person on the kind of World Paddle Tour or Premier Paddle that hit Bandejas was Bella.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the argument is fair because he was number one for 16 years, but now like he's kind of, stopped. No one's hitting him anymore. So yeah,
it's difficult to argue with that. Let me give you an example. A top coach in the UK, Ali Grillo, he teaches the Bandeja and the vibra to all of his top students still. And when I went for a session with him, he was still teaching Bandeja, vibra, he was teaching them separately to me and saying the reasons why you need them. One thing I think I would say that I think it does work a lot, I think, just for the variety of the spin.
Do you play Bandejas?
Yes. So I will play.
Who would win a match, me or you?
Well, I would play vibra and also Bandejas, and I found them to be effective in the sense that just the change of spin. So I completely understand you can play a slow vibra, right? A slow vibra, fast vibra, but then half an hour into the game, and then you change the spin to a Bandeja, and it becomes harder to defend and just gives you more variety.
Why further down in the game?
Because you're changing it up, and people can get used to the vibra spin, so they can get used to playing the slow vibra, fast vibra. If you then throw in a Bandeja and then throw in a vibra again, it just makes you really hard to defend against.
But the beauty of the vibra is you can play like different depths, different like targets.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's still good, but I think having the Bandeja as well also works. I've honestly, like, so look, we haven't played. We need to play cross court again sometime. I'm not saying you'd beat me, right? You beat me at cross court. Well, we haven't.
I don't know.
Yeah, at cross court.
You're good at cross
when I
court.
used to play you at cross court, and I play Stan a lot at cross court as well. Bandeja's worked.
But you're not playing a match, mate.
I know it's not a match, but it's similar to a match. I'm just giving you an example. In a match as well, it's worked.
You're
I'm just saying.
Well, when?
What do you mean? Just in general, I'm saying in normal matches.
But when? Tell me when has a Bandeja worked? Other than just getting it. The problem is,
if I said to you,
floats.
when's a vibra worked? What's your answer?
Well, I could get 1 point up from any Premier Paddle match right now.
I mean, I could Google Bandejas as well and show you them working as well.
But you'd have to Google it.
Well, that's what you're doing right now.
No, the argument I'm showing you, right? This is not a good example because they're just going to smash everything here.
I know. Yeah, I know, you can show a vibra working. You show a Bandeja working.
Augsburger and Cardano are not the pair to show.
What's your argument? What's your point here?
why I'm showing that if anyone hits a Bandeja, the problem is with this level now
Yeah.
is Bandejas float. Bandejas float. So it's so easy for players just to lob, come forward and block the Bandeja, and suddenly you've lost the net after your maintainer that keeps the net. So that's my argument. It's like you come in and block it. It's so easy. Where vibras, you can hit down, you can hit fast, you can hit like so aggressive, and it like that constant pressure of just hitting that shot, where it's so much harder to block. It keeps you back, and then all of a sudden now, like these players that, for example, this is a good two because they're playing everything down because these two just step on the net so close. You see, like, and now if they play a lob, they smash it. So. To be fair, the argument is neither's works anymore. But do you know what I mean? Like it's that.
I know what you're saying. I still think there's a place for both of them. I don't see any harm of having an extra shot in your locker that changes the pace.
Vibra.
Yeah.
But you see, it was Vibra Gancho, and then they win the point.
I think you can still have the Bandeja in there. It will still give you that variety.
Okay.
I would teach. So the other argument is that you can, if you have beginners or intermediate players, it actually is easier to just teach them the vibra, right? Just go straight into that, and then you can just go play it slow, fast. So slower if you want to maybe more maintain the net, or fast if you want to kill it. I still think though, once they reach the higher level, you teach them Bandeja to have that slice rather than side spin to give more variety and slow the game down.
I agree on that point. I do agree. And it works well to teach you with the volley, right?
Yeah.
Like the forehand volley. I think maybe, will you agree with me on saying that any level kind of, let's say top 100 in England to then on in the world, Vibras should only be played? Or would you not agree with that? And then from onwards, from top 100 backwards to beginners, you're allowed to hit Bandejas because obviously players aren't coming in to block as much. Players aren't, using the glass how world paddle tour players are.
I get what you're saying.
Paddle players. I feel like that's the agreement to disagreement. Like,
yeah, that's where I think you can get some common ground. Is like, I guess you're seeing it less and less in the real top game. I'm frustrated because I've forgotten there's a player that does them.
Bella?
No, it's not Bella. There's a player currently right now. I honestly can't think. I have to research afterwards. But yeah, that slipped my mind now. But I think it's as well, like I've had a lot of sessions with different coaches in the UK and they're still teaching that Bandeja. Like, what would you say? What would you say? Say if you went with Alec Grillo. So he teaches Alec Grillo, for example. He teaches.
I am. Potentially.
Yeah. So what would you say to him when he starts telling you to do a Bandeja? Are you going to say no?
Well,
because he's such a knowledgeable guy.
But he was in the period, and
so would you say, look, you need to get with the later times, Ali?
I mean, I would need to hear his argument. First. But like, yeah, I think it's definitely. I don't know. Like, I mean, this is the problem with that level, isn't it? It's like they're all just hitting smashes. Yeah, I would say, Ali, why would I hit a Bandeja when I can get back in position, hit a vibra like Ali Galan just did there?
Yeah.
And he still lost the net, even hitting a vibra.
Yeah.
So that's like,
I think where I would definitely agree is when the courts are ridiculously quick. Then
that's a Bandeja.
I think, yeah.
But this is World Paddle Tour days.
Okay, when you played the tournament in Leeds against like Weller and Jamie, for example, that's where I think a Bandeja would have been helpful for you to win. I know you won anyway without it, but I'm saying that's a game where I'm like, if you're having a battle with Jamie Cross, for example, and he's lobbing, and you go like vibra, then you do a gancho, then you play one to the cage, and then you play a Bandeja deep with the spin, I think that's where he might make a mistake.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you because I beat him without doing it.
I know you did it without beating him, but I'm saying you could have still could have beaten him with doing it, maybe even more. But I think that's where, when we spoke about cross-court, I know you're saying cross-court's not a match. I completely understand that. I'm just saying, you know, when we do cross court, for example, you have a lot of those battles where it's like constant lobs to me, and that's where I would use the Bandeja cross, and that's where I'd find it effective, that different kind of spin. So it's that's almost how I'm imagining it in the Leeds game, where it would be kind of similar situations to that, where you're going cross constantly, they keep lobbing. That's when I think it would work.
Well, I would just argue that you just hit more like aggressive spin rather than pace on the vibra. And yeah, I mean, the only reason like my argument stands is because I've never lost to someone who hits bandejas.
No. Yeah.
And I obviously would lose to Bella. So there's an example, but
that's not necessarily because it's bandejas.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Bella is pretty comfortable hitting vibras as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a cool topic, and yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
It's going to be one of those. Let's agree to disagree.
Let's agree to disagree. I'm sure lots of people will agree with your side of the things, especially with how the game's going now and looking at pro level.
There was a guy called,
but hopefully I made a good case for the Bandeja. So, well, let's go on to a topic that we definitely can both agree on. Why is Padel so addictive?
yes.
I wanted to kind of go into a little bit, what is it about the sport that makes someone, when they play it once, want to come back? It makes someone that was playing squash twice a week now play Padel 5 times a week.
One that makes like everyone play it is just, you know, you hear it all the time, is how it needs to be 4 players, and it's so sociable. Like after you can grab a pint, a coffee, whatever, and it's just like you and your friends can meet up and play matches. That's why we fell in love, right? Like we fell in love with
the social side of it is amazing.
The community is great. Everyone's so nice.
Yeah, the community is so good. I've actually got it written down, just satisfying to hit the ball.
Yeah.
I think as soon as someone starts hitting, it feels nice. It feels easy. They can get a good connection.
That's a really good point. It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, it's obviously like easy to pick up, hard to master.
Yeah.
And that's what's so fun about it. Everyone's trying to, you know, follow this yellow ball around and try and work out how to be the best, you know?
But
so
sometimes I have it when I play, and you know, when you're literally just warming up cross or down the line, it just feels so nice just hitting the ball, especially if you had a couple of days off. You sometimes realize like, this is so nice just to hit this ball.
Yeah.
It's just so satisfying. I've also got written down longer rallies. I think people can just have such good rallies. You know, we all know the problem with like tennis and squash. You play tennis, it lasts like 2 points. You like the serve, then you got to go run after the ball. Same with squash. Squash so physical. Have you played squash?
I have, yes.
So physical, isn't it? And it's difficult as well. Really difficult to get.
You have to be really powerful, don't you?
Yeah, it's tricky. Whereas in Padel, you can have those long rallies. I then also put down more tactical. I think that people really enjoy the thinking side of the game.
Strategy.
Yeah, the strategy. I think there's so much to learn. And I think you definitely have Padel a lot of the time where maybe you have someone that is technically a lot better, but then the player they're playing against is very good tactically, and they can actually have a lot of success. You don't have to be technically, obviously I know at the high level you need to be technically great, but to really move up the ranks you don't have to be technically unbelievable.
Yeah,
you can just hit.
Yeah, and you don't have to be super talented.
Yeah,
like you can be that grinder that just puts in the work and still performs well. I
was actually playing a game yesterday, you know, Andrew Churchhouse.
I do know Andrew.
And
yes,
I played with this guy Pete, and this guy Pete, like
Pete who?
You won't know him.
Okay.
You won't know him, but he like his technique is actually really good, and he's got like amazing ground strokes. You know, like one of those tennis guys that's every ground stroke like that far over the net, and his volleys are really good as well. But he just knew nothing tactically, so he was just like.
Did he used to play with Kai?
No, he didn't. It's
okay. Sorry. Okay.
So he would like smash balls at like Andrew's volley and be so far out of position, but everyone would be perfect, but you still kind of lose from that. And Andrew, no offense to Andrew, he didn't actually hit the ball that well. A lot of the time he kind of mishits it or half hits it, but tactically he's very good. So it's quite interesting just watching them two battle. You got one guy hits it amazing, no tactics, doesn't hit it that well, amazing tactics. And then battling was just really fun to watch. And to be fair, Andrew was actually winning quite a lot from just knowing where to put the ball, what to do.
Yeah.
It was just, it was fun to watch. And I thought that's another part of the game that is quite cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, we mentioned it earlier about, well, I mentioned it earlier about just like learning something new. Like it's
There's so much stuff to learn, isn't there?
yeah, it's like learning that glass. It's so different. Like you don't ever have to retrieve a smash running forward. You run into the smash. No
and that's
sport.
just so exciting for someone coming to the sport for the first time.
It's like running into it, reading the glass. Like it's, sometimes I finish my sessions off with me smashing just
and then running forward,
and they love it.
That's a great way to end a session, actually. Yeah, because they're just going to enjoy that.
Yeah, and it's a good way to finish.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's like it's just brilliant, isn't it? It's just brilliant.
Yeah,
we just can't sing our praises enough, can we?
Exactly.
About it.
Last week we asked you to send some clips in, so we could kind of have a look at them, and we got a total of one person sending a clip. Guys, I don't know what you're doing. Like maybe you don't record your games or whatever, or you're just like, nah, they don't want to be on the pod.
And the guy that Adnan stitched me up.
He didn't send one.
Didn't even send one.
So it was his idea, Adnan, and he didn't even send
one.
Adnan,
sort it out, mate.
But I did get a DM from Padelinho.
Padelinho.
The Ronaldinho of paddle. So let's analyze his game. So he's in the black here on the right side, closest to the camera.
Do we know his name, or is it just Padelinho?
I'll have a look, see if I find his name, but all I saw was Padelinho, to be fair.
Okay. Right. I haven't seen this before.
You've not seen this? Nope. I've seen it once. Oh, his name's Calum.
Okay. Do we know where he's from?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Is his game?
Okay.
Right.
I'll watch it from here.
So return serve.
We've got songs. Where are they going?
He's moving into the net. Oh, he's caught a little bit.
In no man's land, just...
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's unreal.
It's a nice little turn, that, isn't it?
It's a great turn. He's got away with it.
I can see why he's happy with that as well, because he's he's trained that in his lessons or something, and he's taken quite a bad situation where someone smashed, and he's won the point from it.
It's first of all, like, I always talk about this return. This return is unbelievable. High backhand. What a return.
If you're beginner intermediate and you're thinking, where should I return? High backhand on the right side always works.
But you've got to argue, where are they going?
He's too eager to get into the net there. I understand he wants to, but is he thinking, oh, it's a low ball? Or is he just kind of moving in?
Well, it's like, it was kind of a Chiquita, maybe. Was it? Can you call that a Chiquita?
It's that there. I can see.
If you got a little bit further.
It's gone down to his low backhand, but then they're a bit hesitant, aren't they?
Yeah, and then they just stay here. It's like, guys, hit one shot in no man's land and then get out.
Get out of it.
And he's done well to pick this one up, to be fair.
It's a good dig out, but then this is great. Nice little turn. Hits it in a good area as well.
He's buzzing with that.
He's very buzzing with that,
he's buzzing.
And the caption of that
watch it one more time.
Video.
High backhand. It's a nice Chiquita. Go. Oh, I just stopped.
The caption is 360 no scope.
360 no scope. To be fair, he wasn't looking. He wasn't looking.
No, he was looking at the camera. That's what he's looking at. He's like, I know this is going to be a clip down the middle.
So
send in your clips to us so we can do this every week.
Frank, such a legend, but records all his matches.
Do you coach this guy?
I do coach him. Yes, yeah. Beauty. And I played a match against him and his mates.
I think I know what you're going to show.
Yeah, I think I send it to you.
So this is you doing a nice social match play with your clients. Something nice and friendly, right?
Yeah, it was...
like no one's going to get hurt. You're just having fun, right?
Yeah, it was one of those matches where Frank's asked me to play. I think his mates are giving a bit of kind of lip and a bit of banter.
And as the coach, you're just going to hit it nicely, right?
Yeah.
Keep the point going.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of trying to show how the right ways to play are, and see if they can try and maybe learn from me.
Yeah, show like you can. Playing soft is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, let me just give it a context. This is Frank here. Frank is a very good athlete. But one thing that he doesn't do is go into the net. We've fixed that now. He does go in, but in this match he didn't. But I kind of knew they were picking on that a little bit, so I'll just show you the clip.
So Frank here serves, nice serve. Oh my gosh. That is brutal. Go on, show us again.
Yeah, I'll show you one more time just with some sound. So the first
it's a great connection.
I apologize to Mike. I actually broke his hairband.
Show me one more time, please.
So he's got a hairband. I don't know if you can see him playing with it at the back, but he's got a plastic hairband.
I feel bad for him because he runs in.
And the worst part is...
I know what to do here.
Is Frank here. Ready? Frank's his best mate, I believe.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So good.
There's not even an apology first, or oh, is this guy all right? It's the instant celebration. That's
yeah.
what I like.
Obviously, I felt terrible because I've just accidentally smacked him right in the head.
So just for audio listeners only, Jake's just shown us a video of him in a match play. Ball's come up to Jake, and he's just smashed it straight in the head of one of his clients. It's a clean shot.
Frank, the problem with Frank,
Too slow to get in.
Yeah, way too slow. So you can already see me stepping. I knew their tactic was going to be Chiquita.
The opponent's trying to hit to Frank because he's not quite in.
So yeah, it was like, yeah, let's get a Chiquita to Frank's feet and then go in. So that's why Mike, on the other side, the guy who unfortunately got hit, started to move forward. But the only thing is, obviously, I've read that, and now.
Oh, that's a great shot. He's literally staring it in the eyes. He's just seen death there.
And watch where the ball goes. It goes so far out of shot.
My God.
But yeah, obviously I felt terrible head over the net. But yeah, that's a funny clip. So if you've got anything like that, that's also great.
Because we're not going to have clips like this every week. Jake's not going to.
No, that's a one-off.
Film every game. Okay, thanks so much for watching this episode. Of course, remember to enter the giveaway for this racket, the Adidas CrossFit Lite, signed by Marta or Martita Ortega. So leave a comment of a question below and subscribe, and then we'll be giving this racket to someone lucky. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys. Bye-bye. That was a good long episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Now we've got to try and get out of this.